2025 calendar. Hallam just inside their own 22. Knock on, referee plays on. Spread wide. This is one of Hallam's strong points. Onto the wing. You need to do well, 2 or 3 of them to hold him up there. Out the back. It's knocked on. And the referee is coming back for, must be a penalty. Penalty, yeah. Not rolling away, says the referee. Good afternoon, Emilio. Joined next to me for commentary this afternoon. How are you?
Good afternoon, Ollie. Thanks a lot. I'm really excited to be commentating the game. I think it's going to be a really big match today, really closely contested. It's one of the biggest fixtures for both sides. And I'm sure we're going to see a really great game of rugby today. As we go down to the first line out of the game.
Jacob Jameson to throw. Pressure on the first line out of the game. They do well, actually.
Nicely taken by Saul Jeffries.
Van Amersfoort out into the centres.
Dished out nicely and
fizzed out into touch on the far side. First scrum of the game. Can you tell us a little bit about the scrum? Obviously, there's some talk that it might be one of Hallam's stronger points going into the game. It's one of the talking points for compared to last year, for example. What can you tell us?
Definitely,
about
there's been
scrum?
a lot of improvement this season. We've really built on it, and we've got a great group of freshers that we've really used, and it's been a really big advantage for us to build on. And I'm sure we're going to be able to see a great scrum from us.
Who oversees the scrum?
Yeah, that's right. Doncaster Knight's prop, and
how much of an impact has he made?
He's been a lot of help for us, especially one of the first forward coaches that we've had in this season, and it's definitely made an impact. And we just received
penalty to Hallam from the base of the scrum. Narang tried to pick and go, and I couldn't tell you what the decision is. There's lots of hand signals, lots of gestures, and it's hard to know from the other side of the ground.
Agreed.
He's made touch though. Fair enough.
Fair amount of distance
so
as well.
Hallam line out just inside Uni's 22. Score still 0-0. No chances really for either side at the moment.
We'll see how Hallam use this distance advantage to the line out.
What's the play here, do you reckon, from inside the 22?
Oof. Could go either way. It could use them all.
Nice line out.
I think they are.
They've sacked it, have Uni. But they come
Bailey
away with
Q
it.
goes into contact.
Q to the base, into the centres for Cooper. Van Amersfoort out
Dishing
the back.
out nicely.
And here we go. Here's a chance early on. It's a good tackle covering from Uni. Fitzsimmons gets taken up and brought back down relatively safely. Into contact they go. Hallam just approaching Uni's 5-metre line here. Big carry from Hallam. They edge ever closer. Spread to this near side. Q again. Brought down comfortably. Again they go. Cooper, first receiver. Jameson into contact. He's tackled. Referee calls tackle. Sort of slowed up here for Hallam. Cooper uses the dummy run and goes himself. Does quite well considering.
I have to say, Uni have a very strong defence at the moment.
Yeah, it's holding up well so far.
Yeah. Penalty advantage to Hallam.
Penalty advantage, not rolling away.
Using it nicely, over to Sam Thomas.
That's a lovely kick over the top. Sam Thomas not held, so he gets back up. And he's brought into touch, but that's a nice move, actually, that chip into the wings. That's
easy advantage
one of the strengths of Hallam, using the wings with their 9, 10, 12 axis. It's interesting as well that the 12's gone to first receiver sometimes, and Van Amersfoort's holding back either on a looping run or to hold deeper to kick, as was in that case. But the referee's pulled it back just to the right-hand side of the posts for offside, actually. It's a bit of a meeting as to what they're going to do. Looks as though it's a tap and go from Jameson, with Louis Burton tight on his left shoulder. They tap and they go. It's a nice, well-worked move. Here's the fresher Noah Marshall. Spun wide from the base. Jameson again. Brought down 4 meters from the line. Uni defense is still holding strong. It's a pick and go again. It's hard to see in and amongst the crowd of bodies. And it's a knock on and a scrum to Hallam 5 meters out. What do you reckon Lewis Teed will be looking for from that first scrum? Is there anything you can build off from the first one down the other end of the pitch going into this one 5 meters out?
Hopefully just another really big push, and hopefully drive another penalty and use that to our advantage again. Maybe another crossfield kick to Sam Thomas, and this time make some more yards.
Harry Cole waits for it at the back to Cooper. He's met in the contact by Ferris and Co. Cole again tackled high. The referee's blown up.
Spotted that quickly.
2 penalties, I think, is what the referee's saying here. There's one over by the scrum or one just in front of the post. They might take the points here. Hallam, it might be wise. It's a dominant start from Sheffield Hallam. And we've got a stoppage. I don't think it's going to be a kick.
I don't think so either. No. I think Hallam are going to give it another go.
Truckle is down injured, so we've got a slight stoppage while we wait. There's 2 coaches, isn't there, at Hallam? There's Morgan Bunting as well, both at Doncaster Knights.
That's right, yeah.
What's Morgan going to be impressed with so far, do you think, especially in the back?
Well, Morgan's brought a lot on the back moves. I don't know if you can see, but we've been using the wide passes a lot, and I think it's been working quite nicely in our favour. We've been putting a lot of pressure on the Uni offside, and Uni have done really well to keep them from scoring.
Yeah, they kept them at bay, and Dan Van Amersfoort is going to go for the 3 points. So, all being well, it will be an early lead for Sheffield Hallam, but it's nothing more than they deserve. You know, they've been dominant so far. But credit to Uni, they've held out quite strongly so far.
Definitely.
Van Amersfoort slots the 3, and it's an early lead for Sheffield Hallam here at Hallam Sports Park as Josh Truckle below us gets patched up. Bit of claret for him. Truckle's back on, head bandage and all. And he's responsible for the restart. Beautiful still day, really. There's no wind, sunny day, perfect conditions really for rugby.
Great day for it.
As the restart's taken, that's Harry Cole on the restart. Into the midfield, Hallam go, and they've nearly broken the line. Bailey Q held up by 2 or 3 black and gold shirts. It's Back to Van Amersfoort, who kicks long. And a chance for Uni in broken play. Charlie Coombe onto this near side and
it's knocked on.
Drop forward. So Uni's first real attack in broken play unfortunately results in a knock-on and a Hallam scrum just inside the Hallam half on the 10-metre line. It's the first chance we get to see from where we are of a scrum. Obviously they've both been on far sides of the pitch, so it's a good observation for us as well as the viewers. Pryor, Jameson and Burton up against Henry Welpton, Cal Roberts and Harry O'Brien in the front row. It's quite the matchup really.
Yeah.
Both sides sort of similar in terms of size and physicality, you'd say. But yeah, this is undoubtedly one of the most hotly contested and sort of highly sought set pieces that we'll have on offer today. Scrum time. Always a favourite with 8 forwards. Shout of set and Colm feeds it in to the back.
Another strong scrum by Hallam.
Sort of wheeling around, the referee's got his arm out for a penalty, so a free play here for Sheffield Hallam. Van Amersfoort and Cooper linking up nicely, but stopped in their tracks. The referee puts a halt very quickly to proceedings. Cole wants to go, the referee says no. And Van Amersfoort aims for touch.
And it's not gone.
He's not going to find it.
See how Hallam defend here.
With a chance here. There's a slipping into the contact. Just clipped his sort of cheek as he came down. Uni with a chance just inside their 22 now to make something of this. No advantage from the referee from that passage of earlier play. Narang skips away from a couple of maroon shirts. Lining up for the box kick, Narang.
Rowan Cole was to receive.
Good distance on it. Spread wide to Van Amersfoort, who sees a bit of space in the backfield. And he's found the space nicely just outside Uni's 22. Pressure on this throw then for Uni. Their first line out of the game.
Yep, the first for Hallam to defend.
Cal Roberts, the man responsible in black and gold for Uni of. Bit of shifting around. To the back it goes, a couple of deflections. Jameson knocks it on at the back, and there's a couple of knock-ons in there, and the referee's not having any of it. Scrum down then, about a yard or so outside of Uni Of's 22. Fed in by Narang, hooked back swiftly, and Padkin from the base. Off he goes. He's made great yards, Rory Padkin. Fed to Narang. 2 medics lining up nicely. I think that's Ferris making good yards into the gain line, and a turnover for Hallam. Holding on the ground, says the referee. You have to think he was sort of limited in terms of his support there.
There was an overlap on that side of the pitch there, I thought, but it was looking quite dangerous for Hallam. They've done well to receive the penalty and gain some more yards now.
Van Amersfoort finds touch this time, more comfortably than the last time, and it's a Hallam line out about 5 yards from Uni's 22-metre line, so another good opportunity for the backs to string some magic together. Line out goes awry, and the referee blows up for not straight, so another scrum on that far side as a result of the line out. So just a word on the two sides then, Emilio. We've got Hallam, who finished joint top of their league this year, and in contrast you've got Uni, who unfortunately struggled all season and didn't win a game. In terms of strengths and weaknesses of both sides so far, what are you seeing? I mean, it feels as though it's been a very forwards-dominated game so far.
Yeah, definitely. We've seen a lot of scrums and line-outs so far. Hallam have been using the backs a lot more. They've been using their possession quite nicely. We're yet to see really how Uni can handle the ball. And it's turned over again.
Into touch on the far side from Padkin's pick and go from the base. Referee and the linesman on the far side have opted for a Uni throw. And Posa, the Uni head coach down below us, sort of marching back and forwards from his grasped verge. Lynch with the line-out pick, and a heave-on from Uni here. Carl Roberts scrapping with it at the back. It will make its way to the back. There's a couple of bodies on the floor at the bottom of that maul. And they get quite the heave-on from where they started. Yeah. Narang has it at the back. Or maybe he doesn't, as everyone falls on top of it. Narang eventually finds Carl Roberts. He's met face on by the two Sheffield Tigers. Second rows, Santa Maria and Fitzsimmons. Truckle with that head bandage on, skips away from the tackle and then loses it in contact. So we'll have another scrum advantage.
It's on the right.
Colm Van Amersfoort kicks away, so there goes the advantage. Davison will mop up in the backfield for Sheffield, for the University of Sheffield, and he's through. That's a fantastic bit of footwork from Max Davison. He's brought down well by Dan Van Amersfoort. And it's thrown into touch for a Sheffield Hallam line out. The first bit of sort of expansive sort of backs play we've seen, that was quite nice actually. Good footwork from Max Davison, who sort of had no right to make it to his 22-metre line. Sorry, his 10-metre line. But he's worked a bit of yardage for his team.
Yeah, I agree completely. That was a big mistake there from Hallam's defence. Quite lucky to receive the line out now.
Jameson tasked again with another line out throw. Up it goes. And Q brings it down nicely for Colm, and into the midfield for Cooper. Go Hallam University. Big shot from Uni. Tom Grand and co getting involved Zeb Hayes as well. Hallam recycle it, sorry, Marshall. Into contact. Kong fumbles at the base. And we'll have a Uni of Sheffield scrum just inside the Hallam half. A lot of scrums.
There is a lot of scrums, that's right, yeah. Very close scrums as well.
Close, yeah, yeah. Cries of crouch, bind and set from the referee as Narang prepares to feed in. Referee's not happy, so instructs the forwards and the front row to stand up. Referee boxes orders to the front row, and we're down again. Narang and Colm eye to eye. Fed nicely from Carl Roberts to Narang, and for the first time we see the Uni of send a pairing into contact. Mead and Tomlinson. Stripped again by by Hallam. And the referee this time gives the decision to the black and gold of the University of Sheffield. Percy Overton coming in on his wing into this midfield, but the referee's not having any of that, and we're coming back for a not off his feet decision, should I say. Truckle aiming for touch. Can't quite find it. And there's quite a lot of space in that empty backfield. And the bounce of the ball is unfavourable. It's deflected off a volley, and we have a line out as a result. Matt Hurley's on for Rory Padkin. Early change. So Hurley in, straight in at number 8 for Uni of Sheffield. Roberts misses his man, and Jameson into contact he goes. Big hit on Truckle again. He's been in the war so far. Another knock-on. The handling's been a bit of a struggle so far.
Yeah,
perhaps
definitely.
It's the occasion, perhaps a little bit of nerves creeping in. But if you're just joining us, 3-0 here so far at Hallam Sports Park for Varsity 2025. Hallam men's ones versus the University of Sheffield here live on Forge TV. Another strong scrum from Uni. First receiver is Mead and Tomlinson linking up quite nicely. Truckell receives it off Narang. Uni starting to try and make some yards here. Narang at the base to Truckell, who skips away. He's met in the contact quite forcefully by Bowden. Hurley's first impact is explosive as he's over the gay line and beyond. Another advantage for Uni here. Welpton into contact, met by Fitzsimmons. Narang with a little ding through, knowing the advantage is coming. And the referee comes back for the penalty. Not rolling, says the referee. Truckhill will come and aim for this near side, hoping to hit touch. He's not going to find it. Oh, he is. Looked higher rather than longer, but he's made it. That's a nice kick, actually, and a nice position for Uni here. Forwards march towards the line out. Still breeze. You'd like to think Cal can hit his target again here. Where's he going to go? It was Lynch last time. It's not hit anyone actually this time. As Jameson picks it up at the base. Cole, Van Amersfoort and Cooper. Nearly used his centre partner, instead opted to go himself. Big carry. Coming in from Bailey Q. And the referee, this time a penalty for not rolling away to Hallam. So, penalties galore and set pieces galore so far here at Hallam Sports Park.
See how Dunban makes the kick now.
Tricky kick. And makes it just inside the Hallam half. It's found touch though, so a nice position again for something to be crafted from Hallam's backs. Poser barking his instructions to his forwards down here below us. Jameson goes long and finds Cooper beyond the 15. Q will act as scrum half. Into Jeffrey, who goes beyond the gain line. Cole assessing his options, goes back to where Hallam came from. Cooper, Van Amersfoort. Nicely sits Truckle down. Van Amersfoort still going here. Inside he goes to Cooper. He's brought down by Wellington. Advantage coming for Hallam for the high tackle. Marshall goes in. Colm picks it up. Santa Maria. Van Amersfoort with that long crossfield kick. Where's it going to bounce? Someone's down. Hallam are down. It's a try for Sheffield Hallam.
Either Rowan Cornwall or
hard to know who that is on that far side. But it's that crossfield kick again, Emilio. It's caused Uni a few problems so far in this game. But that crossfield kick, Van Amersfoort again.
Making great yards earlier on as well.
Cooper at first receiver, Van Amersfoort, yeah, of course, sat Truckell down and made great yards, and they worked it inside, and that's a fantastic finish in the far corner. We still don't know who scored it, but
beats me. Great start for Hallam.
It might have been Joel Gordon on that far left-hand side, the number 11.
One of the more senior players at the club. He's had about 3 starts at varsity.
4th varsity for Joel Gunn. If that was Joel Gunn, that's a fantastic finish on that far side. And Van Amersfoort with a tricky conversion. Up it sails and wide it goes. So it's an 8-0 lead. All Hallam in this first half. Truckell with the restart, shaking off that heavy collision from Van Amersfoort a little bit earlier on. Over Marshall's head and bounces into touch for a Hallam throw. Jameson with the pressure throw here. Speaks to Barney Pryor, gets the instructions and the call of the move. Bit of shifting around, and Jeffrey collects again. Bailey Q now from the line out.
Huge contact.
He's over the gain line. He's done fantastically well there. Van Amersfoort receives the ball from Colm. Charlie Coombe now, the black and gold fullback. There's men over here for Uni. For big collision on the wing. Percy Overton taking in heavy contact there. Troquel at first receiver. Zeb Hayes with big contact and still driving. Just outside Hallam's 22 here. Troquel goes back. Charlie Coombe on to Davison. There's a chance here, there's men inside. He tries to play the fancy offload inside, and it's a knock-on from the University of Sheffield. And you have to say that's sort of been the story of their first half. They've got go forward, but again, there's another knock-on in there. Good defence, though, again, from Sheffield Hallam. Would you agree, Emilio?
Definitely, but Uni of really dangerous. Some mistakes, I think, would have really turned the game around.
Henry Welpton's coming off here for Sheffield, the University of Sheffield. Ben Newlove is on in his place, I believe. So a bit of freshness in the front row for Uni. Pressure scrum here for Sheffield Hallam. Inside their 22 after the knock-on. Uni will want a big shove here. And they get it. That plot replacement made the difference, but the referee's got his arm out for another penalty as Jeffrey comes away with the ball. And the referee stops the play there. Driving in at the side, a tricky angle, so Hallam with a relieving kick here. Van Amersfoort will be looking to get this as far as he can while hitting touch. As Hallam slowly creep further up the field here on Sports Park Day for Varsity 2025. Jameson again responsible, the captain for Hallam, of course, this afternoon. Up it goes, Marshall can't take it. Hallam eventually get it back. Here's Cooper again. Despite the best efforts of Cal Roberts, unfortunately he can't win the turnover. There's a kick going up. Narang with the take, and he's on his own, he's isolated, and he's lost the ball. And another knock-on. But a perfect opportunity for us to have a proper look at this scrum, as it's right below us. If that first Ben Newlove scrum was anything to go by, Hallam could be in for another tricky afternoon at the set piece, because that was a dominant first scrum, although the referee called a penalty in Hallam's favour. Newlove lining up in the loose here for the Uni of Sheffield. Up against Bowden. Look back from Roberts. And Matt Hurley again with the pick and go from the base. He's hauled down by Noah Marshall. Narang picks up the pieces. Charlie Coombe again in broken play here for Uni of Sheffield. There's a man down on this near side. Josh Truckle into contact. Referee had his arm out there initially. Zeb Hayes over halfway. Still going. Still going. Eventually brought down on the Hallam 10-metre line. Narang back to Truckell. Harry O'Brien into contact for the black and gold of Uni, and the referee sees no advantage coming, and we have another penalty on this near side. It's from the scrum, actually. Truckell then with a kick to touch on a slightly tricky angle, but that is a fantastic kick up the field and into Hallam's 22. A lot of line-outs so far. Big pressure on the hookers of the respective teams. Yep. Here we go then. Can Uni get their attack firing? And no, they can't, as the throw is over again from Roberts, and Hallam will pick up the pieces this time. Kicked away by Van Amersfoort into empty space. Percy Overton back to collect with his wing partner Max Davison. Uni just do enough, and they've gone to the short side. Coombe looking to weave his way through. He's stopped fairly abruptly on that far side. Truckell onto Hurley running onto the ball. He manages to get his arms free and place it back to Narang, who's been busy. Overton off his wing and into the midfield with a big collision. Shouts from the crowd of not releasing. The referee waves them away. Narang tries to pick and go. He needs to get some support with him. New Love arrives. Truckell acts as scrum off. Overton off his wing again. Eventually brought down by those maroon shirts. There's a big collision in the midfield again from the Hallam front row combination, actually. Hurley again, he's made a big impact off the bench so far. He makes yards but loses it forward. Hallam have kicked it away, so Uni will have the attack back. Ben Newlove gathers just, and a penalty for holding on the floor, says the referee. Tricky. The referee's been keen on his penalties so far. It's tricky to get anything going for either side when you've got so much disruption. We've got a man down on the far side in a Hallam shirt, so we'll take a moment and everyone will take a breath. What do you make of Hallam's performance so far? Are you impressed with what you've seen?
I can't say. It's been a really great performance. That's been really great at the start. I think Hallam complained about the start being hard this first half.
What do you make of Uni's performance so far? They've sort of struggled to get their attack going. They've been caught out a few times with those crossfield kicks, but you'd like to think that there's still something in the second half coming up for them. They're going forward and then losing the ball in the contact is probably the best way to describe it.
Yeah, there's a lot of
that. Hurley's off again. I don't really know why. He's been fantastic when he's come on, since he's come on. Rory Padkin's back on and back at number 8. I don't think Hurley's so happy that he's been brought off, as Van Amersfoort finds touch again on the far side, right into the sun. Can't be long left of this first half here at Hallam Sports Park. It's been a sort of stop and start game other than the try and Van Amersfoort's penalty. Uni leading 8-0. Hallam leading 8-0. Lots of penalties, lots of set pieces. Line out to success this time for Hallam. Cooper meets the contact again. He's met well though by Uni's centre pairing. Van Amersfoort opts for the boot again. You look for touch. It's tricky for Charlie Coombe. And Uni will have the line out sort of 15 metres from their own line. Those chips in behind have been quite key as well from Dan Van Amersfoort so far. He's clearly identifying space that Uni aren't being able to cover. Oh, there's a bit of loose play and Harry O'Brien's in through onto Padkin, who supports really nicely. And that's just lifted the spirits here at Hallam Sports Park. Uni have an advantage, so a free play here. Into the centres they go. Dan Tomlinson it was with the carry. On the 10-metre line. Josh Chockel with a chip through. Oh, he could have given it, but he's carried on himself. There's options on the far side. Zeb Hayes was brought down, but into the midfield for Lynch. He's met in the contact by Bailey Q and co. Ferris spins it wide. Davison with that tricky feet. The referee's given the turnover. Yeah, that did lift the spirits just briefly of the Uni crowd. I thought the referee was playing an advantage for a penalty down here though, so maybe because they'd gone so far, Uni, that the referee thought that penalty advantage was over as Van Amersfoort takes the half-time kick here at Hallam Sports Park. It's been a stop and start first half here in Sheffield for Varsity 2025. Hallam leading 8-0 at the break. But a fantastic occasion, and you'd like to think there's still life left in Uni yet. Half-time here at Hallam Sports Park. Sheffield Hallam University 8, the University of Sheffield 0.
Hello guys, welcome back to Sports Park Varsity 2025. The men's junior rugby, University of Sheffield versus Hallam. I'm joined today with Jack and Harry. Boys, great first half, great day for rugby. How do you think that went? Over to you, Harry.
It was a big one today, to be fair. Scrums went really, really well. I think that's a major thing for that is we've finally got a forwards coach who's literally talks about his scrums. So that's a big thing for us today. We wanted to dominate in the scrum and I think it has worked.
Yeah.
And it just gave us the forward momentum.
So looking at those penalties that you've gained from the scrums today, do you think that's like halted Union momentum, or do you think it's just meant you guys have gained territory and carried the ball well?
It's something we want. It's like we vibe from it. When we get that penalty, we are cheering, we are praying on the boys, and it's going to hurt them, innit? Let's be honest. They're not going to like it.
And Jack, over to you. What were we thinking Union are going into half-time talking about?
Well, firstly we're thinking what a day, what a lovely day. The sun is out, it's a lovely day for rugby, lovely day for expansive rugby. We haven't quite seen that yet. There's been a few handling errors. I think from Uni Ob's perspective, they've kind of been stuck in their own half. They're not playing that territory game very well. I think they just want to get into it. They haven't quite got into the game yet. And to be only 8-0 down with the territory, like I said, Hallam have been in the 22 for most of the game. I think we're pretty happy with the fact they're only 8-0 down, and there's opportunities there. You know, we saw right at the end there was some lovely kick from the 10, played a few phases, got to the corner. So there's something in it still for Uni of, and they're not too far away.
We were talking about that, like the first 25 minutes, they weren't in our red zone at all. We were just pinning them and pinning them.
We were talking about the 10, how for each team, you know, they know each other, they're friends. The Hallam 10 today, they're playing really well in terms of back plays with the 12.
Yeah.
As soon as the try came in, what do you have to say about that?
I think for me personally, like Dan, as the game goes on, as his confidence grows, he just becomes a better and better player. It's been like, for him, it's his entire Hallam rugby career. Like, he's started off struggling to get into that first team spot, and like this final season for him, he's just been given his free reins, and as time goes on, he just becomes a better and better player.
Okay. And we were talking about the breakdowns a lot today, and how Uni of are getting so many penalties against them for either holding on for too long. What do you think about that, Jack?
But it's not just a breakdown, it's also a set piece. We didn't get a chance to talk to everyone before the game, but we would have talked about Hallam's form coming into this. I think it was eight scrum penalties going in their last game of the season, and we've seen that straight away at the beginning of this game. I think it's 4 scrum advantage penalties so far. So they're kind of dominating all the set pieces, and I think that's, again, it's stopping Uni of from getting into their flow, and therefore I think there's a bit of one-off runners for Uni of, therefore a bit isolated, that then leaves them open to conceding penalties at the breakdown. So it's really exciting. I want to talk about the try though, because what a try that was. Dan Van, what a name by the way, Dan Van.
The bump, we were watching it just here.
Against his mate.
Do not expect that from a 10.
Yeah.
And a few phases later, he got the ball, saw the space out wide, lovely crossfield kick into the corner, and I think it was 14 in the end who finished off.
It was a great chase as well, to be
Yeah.
honest, because I thought the Uni of 15 was going to cover it. I mean, he nearly got there, but 14 and the 15...
It's definitely the right move as well. We had the penalty advantage, the option was on, and we could always go back.
With the refereeing today, it feels like he's playing very long advantages.
Yeah.
Do you think that's playing into Hallam's hands, or do you think maybe it could sway the game later on?
I think it's played in both their hands, to be fair. They've definitely, when both of them have had advantages, like they've wanted to play. So I think it depends on who gets the penalties and who doesn't, really.
And coming into the second half, how do you think either team's going to do? We'll start with you, Harry.
I think for me, the bench is going to make a big impact. Like, the props that are coming on, they're going to just keep the momentum going with the scrums. Like, Ellie, who's due to come on, every single first team game he's played has always been off the bench. I think he's probably played 2 starting, but when he's came off the bench, he's gained at least 2 penalties coming off the bench in the last 20 minutes, and that's just going to keep building the momentum.
Brilliant. And Jack, what are we thinking?
Well, again, we didn't get an opportunity to talk about the record going into this game. Hallam haven't won this game for 8 years. It's been 8 straight years for Uni of success. Now those Hallam players are 40 minutes away from breaking that record. They could be in that team that breaks that streak. So for Hallam, there's a lot of opportunity. They've got to have a bit of optimism going into that second half. And again, play that territory game, make Uni of play in their own 22. And for Uni of, I'm sure there's a bit of pressure, because at the same time, Hallam are going to have that opportunity to break that streak. They do not want to be in that team that loses that 8-game winning streak.
If you look at the last 2 games, though, Hallam have been down at the half-time both times, and it's completely different this year, which I'm really loving. But you talk about they want to be the ones that break it. I think they just need to forget about that, focus on their game, and hopefully the result will come.
Do we expect more tries in the second half?
I can't see many, to be honest. I still think it's going to be a tight game.
Come on, we've got to tell them to keep watching.
Come
on, more tries.
It's been a great game of rugby, but I think in terms of expansive rugby, hopefully, I mean, it is the day for it, to run around,
the heat's there, legs are going to get tired.
Exactly. You want we have seen some real good line breaks. There's been people who have been making the breakdown. I think the wingers need to get more involved, but I think from both teams, they can be really happy going into the second half, knowing that the other team's going to be blowing. It's one of those where 8-0, it's not a bad scoreline for Uni of to be having, but also Hallam going in, up.
Momentum.
How do you think, realistically, the close run affairs in the last 2 years has affected the mentality? And what about you want to talk about the freshers coming in?
Yeah.
Like the experience that they're going to gain from this game?
Well, there's only one fresher starting this year, so all the rest of the boys are experienced. The one fresher's 7, no Marshall, he's playing crackingly. But the fresh coming off the bench, they've been told about it all year. They know what to expect. They know how it's going to be. We talk about this all year because we do want to end that streak. It's been too bloody long. You know what I mean? So I think they'll do well.
And in terms of Uni of, knowing the boys that played last year and some of the new guys coming in, Do you think that the pressure is still there to the same extent, or do you think they've been given a bit more of a lease of life to go out there and sort of play how they want to play?
Well, for today they've got nothing to lose. Of course, the record they've got something to lose, but today they've really got to kind of come out their shells a bit more. We talked about the expansive rugby. They did try that, and I think there was a few sort of jittery nerves at the beginning that led to the handling errors. They've got to put that to the side now, and they've got to keep playing like that because they're not going to win by sort of playing in their own 22. They've got to play expansive rugby. So it's really exciting. I think I'd kind of put my eggs so far in the Hallam basket for this game.
Also, we've got the win now.
The win's not too big a factor this year than it was last year.
Wow.
Yeah.
But it's important to mention as well, last year it was a close game. Uniov were a man down and they still held on. So they've got that fight and they know what it takes to win this type of game. So we shall see.
Well, I think the boys are coming out now, so we might return to the commentary team ready for the second half. Fingers crossed that we have another great game, another great half of rugby, particularly in this weather. And as the boys have said, we're really looking forward to seeing some brilliant rugby played by both teams. Final message, Harry, for the Hallam boys?
Just keep doing what you're doing, boys.
And Jack, anything else?
Oh, let's go and smash it. It's a lovely day for rugby and there's nothing to lose really.
Brilliant, over to the commentary team. Thanks, guys.
Just that.
Just this. Welcome back then to Hallam Sports Park for the second half here in Sheffield. Sheffield Hallam leading 8-0 as we enter the second half. Dan Van Amersfoort will get us back underway. The men in maroon looking to end 8 years of back-to-back losses. And it's a fast start from Uni. Rory Padkin into the midfield and onto Hallam's 10-metre line. Narang at the base, Choquel. Uni fumble it on that far side, and we have a very early second half scrum. Uni straight away coming out, the blocks firing. Emilio's almost a statement of intent for the second half and what's to come.
Definitely, it's a great start for Uniov, and just the start they wanted after a really dominant Hallam half in the first. We'll see how this first scrum in the second half plays out for both sides, but I think we're in for a really good second half.
Crouch bind set, says the referee. In they engage, and Colm feeds it.
Struggling to get it out.
Struggles to find the ball at the base. Eventually it's brought out via Cooper and Co. And here's a chance for Joel Gunn on the wing. Moves inside, has support from Cornwell. He's fed it inside to a black and gold shirt, but the referee's coming back for another penalty. Offside, says the referee, so a chance for Hallam to gain some field position beyond their halfway line. Dan Van Amersfoort will target touch here in the opening of this second half.
See how the first line out of the half goes.
Jameson again.
Another great position there for Hallam.
Jameson again tasked with the throw. It works nicely. Jeffrey down to Coleman. Fitzsimmons in the midfield in the blue scrum cap. Jeffrey back to Cornwell. That's a fantastic offload out the back, onto the wing, onto the far side for Sam Thomas. Slow ball for Colm. Eventually it finds its way back. Jeffrey. That's a quick pick and go. Santamaria's onto it. Hallam making good ground inside, deep inside Uni's half, and it's an advantage again. Referee has his arm out. There's a cluster of maroon bodies. Cooper out to Van Amersfoort. Spun wide to Gunn. It's a one-on-one. Coombe does well. Doesn't hold him, so Gunn keeps going. Slow ball again. Bailey Q is the recipient. Cooper. That's a big collision. Massive collision on Barney Pryor. Ben Newlove, the tackler. Pryor again shakes it off, and there's men over here, and they're down. Ben Bowden
Sheffield Hallam.
down over the line, and Sheffield Hallam extend their lead further at the start of this second half. Might this be the year that Sheffield Hallam end all those previous varsity defeats and heartache?
Oh, I hope so.
It's a fantastic move, really. They had men over on either side. They chose to go left. And Ben Bowden was just the recipient of Cooper and Jeffrey and Bailey Q's hard work over the ball and around. Brought down. Jacob Jameson's pulled up with cramp, but we play on. On the far side they go. Charlie Coombe all the way. Charlie Coombe's given away from tackles.
Taken down just off the 5.
Narang. Truckell inches away from the line. Referee has his arm out. There's a chance. It's Will Noakes. He's over. And the Uni are straight back into it. Fantastic move from Uni. It's almost like 2 tries has eventually sparked them into life.
It looks like Jacob Jameson's injured.
But Will Noakes,
Huge blow for Hallam.
dives over. And Uni begin their ascent for 9 years of varsity victories. Aaron Narang will be the man tasked with the conversion.
Less than 10 minutes after the first try of the second half. That's a huge response from Uni of Sheffield. As we take a look at the conversion. The first conversion for Uni of in this game.
With his left foot then. Silence falls around Hallam Sports Park and it's shoved well wide. But Uni back in it, 13-5 then.
My eldest is watching it, I don't know where he is. He's listening to us.
Hallam slowly walk back to halfway to take the restart. 13-5 the score. Fast response after going 13-0 down from the Uni of to at least get a try in this game with plenty of the half still to play. Van Amersfoort sort of grubbers it along the floor. It could bounce anywhere. Tom Grant picks it up in that red scrum cap and drives hard. Spread wide from Uni. Those subs already making an impact. Truckell, Hurley is back on. Narang. Grant. Oh, Welton, sorry. Referee gives another penalty, not rolling away. He says, Truckell with a free play. And Coombe again, he's through the gap. Charlie Coombe, can he go all the way? What a tap tackle from Harry Cole. But he picks it up. Tom Logan, the captain. And Jacob Jamieson's over and Hallam have the penalty.
Great work from Jacob Jamieson. It did so well to turn that over. That was looking very dangerous there for Hallam.
Again, though, Uni of Sheffield managing to break the line. It's Charlie Coombe again who's getting through. But a chance for Will Baker and Sheffield Hallam to clear their lines, which he does very dutifully. A bit of a reprieve for Sheffield Hallam, but the pressure will carry on. It was a fantastic tackle that from Harry Colne. Otherwise, you'd like to think Coombe, even though there were two people either side of him, you'd like to think he had the advantage with the speed he was running onto that ball. But Jamieson now with the line out seems to have recovered from his cramp, which is good to see.
A lot less set pieces this half and a lot more end-to-end rugby, it seems, the second half of the game.
Jamieson it is. Straight in front of us. It's one back by Uni. Where's the bouncing ball going to drop? It's going to drop to Jamieson. So while the line out went awry, it's fallen back to the captain, who's eventually bundled into touch. And we'll have a Uni of line out only a matter of seconds after Hallam had a line out and a reprieve. We won't have a line out, we'll have a scrum. What do I know?
First Hallam scrum of the half, I think. We'll see how well this plays out for them.
Another put in for Harry Colne at the base. He's had a fantastic game. He's pulled the strings from the 9 shirt. Uni will want a big shove here. The pressure's on. The time is ticking. It's back to Jeffrey. Keeps control of it nicely. And out it's spread to Van Amersfoort. To Cooper. Misses his man, but Joel Gunn will pick up the pieces and chip forward. Charlie Coombe on that far side, who's made the biggest impression for Uni so far in this second half. Ted Ferris into contact. Uni's top try scorer this year with 12 tries. It's lost in the contact though. Referee has his arm out again. Will Baker nicely spread onto the far wing for Gunn, who's still out there. Eventually, play is stopped and we're back for the penalty. Calling for the tee. Will Baker's backing himself from 40 yards or so.
Very crucial kick if he makes this. Puts Hallam just that edge further. And closer to that smell of victory that Hallam have been wanting for 8 years.
Baker then lining it up as the wind
seems to be picking
just
up.
Picks up as he's about to kick it. No one required to hold it as he locks eyes with those posts. It's a good connection. It dissects the posts. And it's another 3 for Sheffield Hallam. They take their lead up to 16-5. That's a fantastic clutch kick from Will Baker, just when his side needed it most. Ben Bowden's off. Another Hallam change.
Who seems to have come on?
We have a penalty for offside. Just from the restart. Got another man down from what looked like a collision as they were chasing the ball from the restart. So
the centre who's come on, Ruben Lovett. Another fresher to come on the pitch for Hallam. He's had a great season, and he well deservedly is on the pitch for the ones in this game. And it's a good
kick to touch from Luke Mead.
Anton Lemmers, another fresher on the other side, the other team.
So a line out just inside Hallam's 22-metre line. Carl Roberts stands around without the ball in his hand. Slight disruption as it's thrown back, and he's got the call. Can they get this firing? Up it goes to the captain Logan and brought down. Ooh. And there's a big collision in the midfield from Matt Hurley as he keeps going. He's tipped over. That's an advantage from the referee. Don't think we can have any question about that. Ferris, Truckel. Another advantage from the referee.
Another notable change is Bailey Hughes, who have come off for Arthur Tetlow. Another first appearance for Varsity in the first team.
The referee's had enough of that passage of play, and he's brought back for the 2 penalties, the 2 options that Tom Logan, the captain, will have. As Ted Ferris calls for some noise from the Union faithful. They duly oblige.
The crowd are providing that noise very nicely. And Jacob Jameson's down a second time. Oh, he's back up.
I think he's struggling with the cramp that he suffered earlier in the half. Carries on though, despite the best efforts of the medics, and it's a kick to touch. Rory Padkin's back on. It's a game of musical chairs in terms of the substitutions. I'm doing my best to keep track. Rory Padkin's back on, and he stands at the back of the Uni line out. 8 metres from their target. Roberts finds his captain, and the shove is on. Tom Grant is the recipient from the top of the line out.
Very strong maul.
Back down, the maul is good. It's sacked, so Uni will have to play it from the base. Ted Ferris stands and waits. With Luke Mead next to him. Ferris does well. Padkin runs onto it. Fitzsimmons brings him down. Another advantage from the referee. Might he consider a card? We play on. It's knocked on in the midfield by Dan Tomlinson, but we're coming back for the advantage anyway. The referee stops the clock, and I think he might have a little chat here. Speaks to the captain, Jacob Jameson, as Uni prepare their armoury. Hurley stands over it. And he goes from the tap and go.
Less than 3 metres from the try line.
Can they get there? 3 metres to go to really reduce the deficit now. So it's a crowd of bodies. It's hard to see who's picking and going. It looks like Ferris on the ground with that black scrum cap. And there's a try, they're over. The University of Sheffield are over. And there's a black and gold eruption here at Hallam Sports Park. The Uni might just well be back in it.
That try seemed to be coming. Uni over on that, within that 10-metre channel for quite a while, and the pick and go was really effective against that defence. And yeah, it was a great try from Uni. We'll see how Hallam respond now and see if they can keep this lead and maybe extend it.
It's fantastic physicality really from Uni as we enter halfway in the second half. Matt Hurley at the forefront of it. Rory Padkin as well. And it will be Sam Green, by the looks of things, to take the conversion. It's a successful kick. Another black and gold eruption. 16-12 now, about halfway in this second half.
Turning into a big nail biter now. 2 props are coming on for Sheffield Hallam. 2 freshers really. Ellie Chalamet, he's a third fresher now to be on the pitch for Sheffield Hallam, and Jack Cameron, a Canadian who's joined for this second semester. He's actually going to be the goalkeeper in the ice hockey varsity for Sheffield Hallam later on. And that'll be a completely different front row for Sheffield Hallam.
The restart is taken. Padkin collects. Hurley again tasked with being the battering ram in black and gold for Uni. Narang with the box kick. Can he find touch? He can't. Harry Colm slips the challenge as well from Green. There's a turnover there. Ted Ferris is over it. He's done fantastically well. Averages 4 turnovers a game, would you believe?
Wow.
Cal Roberts, the medical student, makes good ground, supported by his black and gold centre pairing. There's another inside ball from Chuckel. Green again, brought down this time. Charlie Coombe with work to do. He's got support on that outside.
Sam Thomas does really well to drive him out onto the sideline.
Fantastic tackle
to Hallam
on that far-hand side. Will Noakes, I think it is, over there. As the changes just seem to keep flooding on.
Yep, Alex Huntley now coming on for Harry Khan, who's had a problem with cramp as well. Alex Huntley is also another fresher to come on for Sheffield Hallam. Another great season from him, and well deserved to be on this pitch today.
More cramp problems. I think it's Ted Ferris down for Uni there.
Get some deep heat on that.
And Foposa starts to run onto the pitch and thinks better of it, trying to make his tactics heard on that from this far side over to from the near side to the far side, should I say. He's got a blood injury here. It's Jack Cameron who's just come on, the Canadian master student. So this will need a bit of seeing to. Looks like a nose injury.
Barney Pryor coming back on.
Pryor's back on. I bet he thought he was getting a nice rest, and then all of a sudden he's back on.
It's been a much more interesting half this second half in this varsity. I think it could still go either way. Uni have done really well to close the gap in the lead that Hallam had in the first half. We'll see how this line-out comes up now.
Jameson again to throw to
Nicely
Marshall.
taken by Noah Marshall.
There's a man down for Uni. And we've got a stoppage here. Tom Logan, who was down, he's back up and moving, which is good to see. A chance for the teams to catch their breath during this break. (16-12) the score. Uni have been inspired into life in this second half from the minute we kicked off up to now. Can they make one of the great varsity comebacks?
Much less scrums this half as well. Shows that the open play seems to be the tactic of both teams at the moment.
Will Baker, interestingly here, is at outside centre. Is he familiar with playing at outside centre?
Will Baker seems to be a bit of a jack of all trades. You can normally slot him anywhere in the back line. From what I know, I think fullback and fly half are his main positions. But he's a very experienced varsity player, and I'm sure he's quite valued in the back line anywhere he is.
Huntley with the pick from the base, the fresher scrum half. That cross kick was on, but Cooper might go himself. Truckell just brings him down. Spun wide from Huntley to Van Amersfoort. Baker, there's men over here. Jeffrey, one more, it's Joel Gunn. Sheffield Hallam are in again.
Huge response from Hallam. Done really well to dish it out all the way to the other side of the pitch, and that set move seemed to have worked really well there. Great line break from George Cooper, and it seemed to have done all the work for Hallam there, and a well-deserved try, I think.
The cross kick was on, they chose to keep it in hand. Fantastically worked through the hands, and it's a great finish from Joel Gunn in this near corner. Can Will Baker add the 2 extras to extend the lead and make this perhaps a more comfortable last 15 or 20 minutes here at Hallam Sports Park?
Ben Bowden coming off for Sheffield Hallam seems to be quite a unique tactic. He's been a really strong player this season. And as the kick is just wide from Will Baker, the score is 21-12 to Sheffield Hallam. It's Josh Truckell. Comes to the centre of the field and sets up for another restart.
Long it goes with 15 minutes to go here at Hallam Sports Park. Could be a famous victory for Sheffield Hallam if they can do it.
Arthur Tetlow goes in nicely.
Baker receives it back from Huntley. He finds Narang on the touchline. Couple of shouts from the crowd.
Nice.
Rory Padkin
Noah Marshall
with a fantastic carry, met equally by Marshall. Narang picks. Probably should have given it. Hayes to Padkin. What a force he's been for the Uni. Truckell He's met by Jeffrey. Uni have gone back here.
Anton Lemmers goes in himself and is met by Ruben Lovett.
Luke Mead. Spread wide. Narang at the base. Uni needs something here. Hurley is met by Marshall. They continue on their merry way. Truckell met by Jameson, the captain. Narang skips away from the challenge. Hayes over the gain line. Hurley goes, needs some support. Cal Roberts offers it. Narang, Truckell. Advantage from the referee coming for an offside. Narang, Roberts. Mead into the midfield. Uni go. With the clock ticking and ticking. Truckell with the chip. Charlie Coombe chases. Charlie Coombe keeps going. It's knocked on and the referee will come back for the penalty advantage.
Uni seemed to be going nowhere there. The Hallam defence was really strong, and every time they went into contact, it didn't seem like any yards was really on. We'll see how this penalty goes.
Lots of bouts of cramp creeping in as we enter the final stages here at Hallam Sports Park. Just quite the reflection of the intensity of this game. Both sets of players putting their bodies on the line as Rory Padkin comes off again.
I don't think I've seen this many subs at all during the game.
It's roll on, roll off. Dan Van Amersfoort comes off for Sheffield Hallam.
Great game by him.
We're more than likely going to see him again in about 5 minutes.
If that.
Another bout of cramp for one of the Hallam players, and he looks in visible discomfort. It's never nice.
And that's Barney Pryor, who's just come on, I think, less than 10 minutes ago, and oh, he's staying on.
I think Laurie Burton was going to come on, and he's been told politely to return to the subs bench. That kick hasn't gone dead. Rowan Cornwell it was. He's fluffed his lines, and it's a 5-metre scrum to Uni. And you'd like to think that they need to get something from this scrum.
Huge position for Uni off here.
If
I'm
they
sure
are
they're going to capitalise really well off this.
To get themselves back into contention in this game. 10 or so minutes to go here at Hallam Sports Park for Varsity 2025. It's currently Sheffield Hallam 21, the University of Sheffield 12. It could be a historic victory for Hallam if they can do it. Scrum down then, on the far right-hand side as we look. Shout of engage. And the players oblige. Matt Hurley picks and goes from the base. He's going to need support. Hallam do their best to stop him. Shout of body height from Post of the coach. Good defence from Hallam, actually. Tom Grant's back on. Someone's been lifted up. Shout of a maul, it must be from the referee, and Hallam have won it back. Held up 3 metres from Hallam's line, and they'll have a scrum 5 metres out and a chance to clear.
Well, Uniov are really going to be kicking themselves there. They were in such a great position, and I think that's another opportunity lost. We'll see how the clearance is now, and see if Hallam can capitalise on this.
Need a big long clearance from Will Baker or somebody like that to
it seems they're going for a scrum.
ease their lines.
Will Baker's lining himself up.
The Lewis Teed infused scrum. What can Sheffield Hallam conjure from this? Just need a solid base and a kick clear with lots of empty backfield space. Ball is fed in.
Huge scrum from Hallam.
Massive scrum. The referee
Making great yards.
has his arm out for another penalty. So it's a free play as they look to clear. Will Baker on that far side. Fantastic. Sam Thomas into touch, but the referee will come back for the penalty advantage. Dino Bryce makes himself welcome to the shouts of
Very
Dino.
member of the club, Dino Bryce, and I think this is his first appearance for men's ones varsity.
He's taken part in the London Marathon in a few weeks' time.
That's right. Yeah, he's been training really hard.
He replaces Sol Jeffrey, who's had a fantastic game. Workhorse at the back of the scrum for Sheffield Hallam.
Has not gone out.
Kick.
The other dishing it out.
Here we go. Luke Mead needs to conjure something. To Green. He chips forward. Can he go all the way? The referee has blown up, and I don't think anyone's realised. The referee's called the forward pass. And another chance goes begging for the University of Sheffield. Ruben Lemmers is on the field now for Uni. Rory Padkin's back on. Matt Hurley is who is replaced. Big scrum opportunity here for both sides. Who can take the upper hand in the dying stages? Water's cold, so we'll have a break. No, the referee says no. We're having the scrum.
Good to know the respect and values are still present at rugby.
Ben Newlove, Harry O'Brien and Cal Roberts in the front row for Uni. Need a big scrum here. They need some go forward. Referee doesn't like it. We'll have a restarted scrum. Tension on the commentary gantry. Tension in the stands and tension no doubt on the field as well. Into the final stages here at Hallam Sports Park. Referee calls set, and there's a big scrum on.
Solid
here.
scrum from Hallam.
Huntley to Baker on the loop around, and mixed with Cooper, and it's knocked on.
Second knock on from Rowan.
Uni will want to play here. They won't really want the restart. Referee's called an advantage. Truckout. Tom Grant. Look to squeeze it through the gap.
Player and it goes back for an advantage.
Shout of Dino again. Popular character. Another man down, so we'll have another stoppage here in the last few minutes at Hallam Sports Park.
I am seeing a lot of tired faces on the pitch today. I think this second half has been really intense for both everyone watching and everyone on the pitch. I think I've watched a really great game of rugby. What about you?
Absolutely, definitely agree. A potentially historic game of rugby for Sheffield Hallam University. Stoppages for a few medics around one of the Hallam players. What's impressed you, would you say, today?
I think Hallam have really put in a great shift today against very clearly high-quality side of Uni of. I do think all credit goes to Hallam in this victory. They've capitalised on the penalties really well. Their backline and their forwards have been so strong today. The scrum's been really solid from Hallam, and it honestly could still go either way. No one knows what could happen in the next 5-10 minutes, but at the moment, I think Hallam have really impressed me. What about you, Ollie? What's impressed you this game?
The intensity from Hallam. They've looked up for it from the kick-off right up to, you know, now with 5-10 minutes to go. They've been relentless in attack, relentless in defence. Yes, they've shipped a couple of tries, but it's that intensity and that drive that's kept them going and sort of motivated them against an undoubtedly strong Uni team as well. So full credit to Sheffield Hallam, but it's not over yet.
That's very true. It's not over yet, and it seems to be quite a big injury from. Let's see here, I can't really quite.
I think it might be Huntley with the injury, the fresher scrum half, sort of holding his shoulders. But it's taking all the care that is required and is necessary.
For the limited amount of time Huntley's been on the pitch, I think he's had his fair share of contact as a 9, and he's done quite well to handle it, especially as a fresher.
Good to see him stand up. Alex Huntley, fresher scrum half in his first varsity, is able to walk off the field with the handshake of his captain, Jacob Jameson. So we'll come back for the Uni penalty after all of that.
Josh Chuckle lines up for the kick. He's had a really great game today, Josh Chuckle. He's been a really key factor in all of the attacks. And he's been quite an unpredictable player to defend against for Hallam, which is always a very valued factor to have in a fly half.
A line out 5 metres outside Hallam's 22 with the clock ticking.
I think we've just been told that there's around 6 minutes left of the game.
Baker sends it long from the line out. Charlie Coombe will mop up in backfield for Uni in the black and gold. Relentless in the carry all game, Charlie Coombe. Truckell. Lynch, who's back on the field. Truckell again at first receiver. Hurley inside to Will O'Brien, the tight head prop. Carl Roberts has found himself on the wing, works his way nicely into midfield. There's a bit of a scrap for the ball. The referee's got his arm out again for a penalty. And a penalty it is to the University of Sheffield. 5 minutes to go here at Hallam Sports Park.
Hallam seem to be very tired at the moment, working really hard all game. Let's hope the composure's not lost in the last 5.
That's a fantastic kick to touch from Truckell. The University of Sheffield with the clock ticking here. They need a score and they need it now. Carl Roberts with the pressure throw in the black and gold of the University of Sheffield. The referee's not happy, so he blows and stops. We're missing a man in the line out. Padkin comes in. Roberts to throw. Oh, he takes the step, and that's the free kick that Sheffield Hallam needed desperately. A miscommunication at the line out, and Hallam have a chance to clear their lines. They won't be able to kick it into touch, but they can kick clear, and Will Baker is the man responsible. Jack Balsiero is on for Cal Roberts. The kick is cleared into touch. What do I know? It's a uni ball. Balsiero's first action is to take his first throw of the game. Bit of a miscommunication again at the line out. It's thrown in.
Seems to be straight.
It's a big hit coming in from the resulting catch. Uni still have it. Sam Green at the base. Lynch struck out.
Great view
Uni are on here.
Player.
Dan Tomlinson it is. Green gets the quick ball he needs. Struck out. Lemmers. Oh, it's dropped by Davison. Cleared and hacked away by Cooper. Charlie Coombe chasing. It's out for a line out. Is that a 50-22? It is. A 50-22 to Sheffield Hallam. And a chance now and a big reprieve in the dying stages of this game. It's all about man management at this stage, player management and game management. They've got the experienced heads that they need, Hallam, to hopefully see them over the line in this one in Varsity 2025 here at Hallam Sports Park. Jameson, the captain. The cheering's already beginning. Marshall really just about takes it down. Slow ball at the base. Colm is back on. Cooper into his midfield partner. There's a turnover there for the black and gold. There's Padkin again. The referee doesn't allow him to take it quickly, however. And Josh Truckell will target touch once more. He's got the distance, so will be a uni line out just in front of halfway. Dig deep is the cry from the Hallam lot. Jack Balsiero to take the line out. Dying stages here at Hallam Sports Park. It's not straight, says the referee. And the ball is back in maroon hands.
We're in the last 2 minutes now of the game, and I think Hallam are really breathing a sigh of relief after just before the previous line out.
Potentially one big final push here in the scrum. Barney Pryor, Eli Chumela and Jacob Jameson with a potentially varsity defining scrum here. Backett is fed. Colm with the ball at his feet. To Baker. Offload into midfield. It's back to Baker. Oh, it's given us a forward pass. That was nearly fantastic from Sheffield Hallam.
That would have been the cherry on the cake. So Jeffrey comes back on for Noah Marshall, who's had a really great game today.
Another scrum. I'd love to know what the stats are for the scrums. We must be high in double figures. It's a uni ball. Sam Green
These scrums have been
to
really,
feed.
really
The referee doesn't like it.
evenly matched, these scrums.
The reset is called. The orders barked from the referee in the late March sunshine. Sam Green to feed. Finds his hooker. That's a big shove from Sheffield Hallam, but the referee has his hand out. Rory Badkin with a massive collision on Will Baker. One of them came out on top. Truckell. Hayes. It's intercepted, but will come back for the penalty.
Sam Thomas is visually very heartbroken from that call. He thought he was in for a great interception try, but yeah, it's gone back for the penalty, and now Uniov can use this to their advantage, hopefully.
Another man down, Jameson again. I think it's cramped for the fourth time. Laurie Burton is on. Barney Pryor comes off. What a fantastic shift from the loose head prop. Sorry. Quick tap from the penalty for the Uni of. Matt Hurley takes it into contact. The dying seconds here in Varsity 2025. Lemmers into contact.
Great double contact from Hallam.
Met by Dino Brace and co. Oh, it's intercepted by Harry Coln though. It's a loose pass. Hallam will play on, but the referee calls a stop, and that's it.
Thank you very much to Forge TV for having me. It's been a great privilege to watch this game, but I think I'm going to go join my teammates right now. Thanks a lot to Ollie, who's been my partner commentating. Up the Polly!
8 years of heartache, 8 years of varsity defeats, and Sheffield Hallam take the victory in Varsity 2025 here at Hallam Sports Park. They were probably favourites going into it, and they've shown their favourite credentials here this afternoon in the late March sunshine. It's a fantastic effort from all involved, and a fantastic way to end the season for Sheffield Hallam men's first team. Final score here at Hallam Sports Park: jubilation, ecstasy and devastation all in one picture. Final score 21, Hallam 21, the University of Sheffield 12.
You getting a lot?
Yeah, he's the defender.
Oi, lead it! Get in! Oi, in!
Wow, what a second half. That was some serious rugby played there. Your full-time thoughts?
Well, it's nice to see. We're looking at the pitch now, and there's massive celebrations going on with the Hallam players and the whole team. It must feel amazing to get their first win in 8 years. It got a bit tight at one point. Sort of the momentum might have shifted kind of early on in that second half. A few quick responses from the Uni offside, but they kind of dug through and really showed their quality by the end.
It did feel like Uni had a real switch in momentum in the second half. You know, obviously Hallam scoring quickly, and it's one of those where, you know, being 13-0 down, you do not want to lose this game by scoring no points. And, you know, Will Noakes in the corner, it was a great try, reaching over. We wanted to talk about the Uni of 8. We thought, you know, even though on a losing side, he was fabulous today.
It looked like a men against boys out there, and I sympathise with them. When you see a man like that running towards you, there's nothing you can do until you close your eyes and wrap your arms and hope he goes over. But yeah, you mentioned Noakes as well. He got the try, but he also got the conversion to make it 16-12. And at that point, it kind of looked like, well, you know, it's momentum shifting here. They know how to get through these type of games, and you wondered if they're just going to go through the motions and get over the line. But again, a great response. An amazing penalty as well. I think it was a 50-metre penalty from Will Baker, and that was really impressive.
I want to talk about the subs coming on for Hallam. They came on, made such a difference. The 17, Eli, we were speaking about it pre-game. They were talking about the scrum penalties. You know, you can see the difference in the you know, we were talking about the penalties first half. It felt like Hallam today just dominated those kind of forward avenues, that system plays. And also coming off the bench, as you said, Josh Baker. What was it, Will Baker?
Will Baker.
Will Baker, phenomenal. He absolutely dominated when he came on at 15, and even pre-assisted to the third try for Hallam. What do you think went really well for Hallam today overall?
I think the set piece was really good and it won them the game. I think we're going to go down now to the pitch side with an interview.
Sorry, I didn't understand.
Tell them to wrap.
Yeah, you go. Hi guys, we're live. Match live interview with the winning captain of the Hallam side. Any thoughts?
I'm just buzzing really. Like, for me, it's been 3 years of hard graft and like close games, bit of defeat, but it's just nice to do them over. First time since 2016.
It's been 9 years,
yeah. So it's just rewarding. They're 2 leagues above, but we've gone and done the job today. I think a lot of that goes down to coaches, but also the 22 lads on the pitch. I couldn't ask for better people to share the pitch with, really.
To be honest, I've not got many words. It's been 9 years. We've had tough seasons virtually all the way up to this season. Lost 2 games, I think. 2 cracking coaches coming in, and I mean, I think we can see the difference that it's made. Both of the backs and forwards, it's absolute class.
With the 4-year progressions from 4 years ago when the club got banned and we had to rebuild, it's been slowly going, but we've finally got there, haven't we, guys?
Yeah, it's been a pretty slow rebuild, I'd say. Each year, working harder and harder, we've been working our way up the league. We're joint top of the league, but I mean, the difference that it's made, the hard work that we put in, it's been worth it.
You can't knock boys graft, it's just been a hard work.
Right, well done boys, let's go get them celebrated.
Cheers.
Thank you guys.
Cheers guys.
Brilliant. Again, Jack, I'm going to go back to those set pieces and think about like where Uni lost it and where Hallam absolutely dominated.
They were very superior in the set piece. It won the line outs. They contested most of the line outs, disrupted it. and also the scrum. I can't remember a scrum where it was kind of a clean ball for Uni of. So that was really impressive. And Hallam have had 2 new coaches this year, so that's a bit of like influx in new information, a new approach, and for them amazing how that must feel. The first year in a coaching side, and then they win this big game after 8 years. That shows it had such a big impact.
Looking at Hallam's coaching staff, they've got dedicated forwards and backs coaches, and going into this game, they must have felt really confident. As you said, they've won 8 penalties in the last game from the scrum.
Yeah.
Do you think having a designated scrum coach makes that much of a difference, or is it as much about the players putting in the time and effort?
I think it's probably a bit of both. I think at this level, a designated coach probably does help you a lot. And it does, there are big boys out there, and there's no surprise that they dominated the scrum. But I'm sure it helps, and like we said, they've had a great season this year. We've seen that all year. So there's obviously been some impact there, and I think it's probably won them the game in the end of the day.
And following on from the season's comment, I'd like to talk about Uni of, and this loss today has meant they haven't won a game all year. How do you think that bodes for the future of the team, and do you think bounce back ability is one of those things that Varsity can give them next year?
Yeah, like you said, they didn't have the best of seasons. I think they did well sticking in this game for so long, considering their season. I mean, results like this, it's always just an opportunity for next year, and there's going to be boys that are going to have to step up, players leaving, and fill in those boots for next year's game. So it comes with a great opportunity. Now Hallam are now going into a game for the first time in almost 10 years defending their varsity sort of champions status. So for Uni of, it's a great opportunity for them next year, and I'm sure they'll be gutted, and I think there'll be a lot of sort of drowning of their sorrows maybe tonight for Uni of.
Well, some celebrations tonight for Hallam, and as Jack said, maybe some drowning of the sorrows for Uni of. We want to thank you for joining us today. It's been me, Jack and Harry. Thanks for watching.